Hey guys, we are back today for episode 2 of The Last of Us. First episode had a lot going on. Our main three characters going into the show, I believe, are going to be Joel, Tess, and Ellie. Maybe even more specifically, like Joel and Ellie, but Tess is Joel's partner, so she's along for the ride the whole time, as far as I know. And then we do also have Marlene, who is the head of the Fireflies, but she's now kind of handing Ellie over to Joel, so I don't know how much more of her we're going to see, if she's going to continue to play a vital role in the show. There was a lot of setup in the pilot, but it was one of those rarest times, I feel, when it comes to TV pilots, where the setup wasn't boring. It didn't feel like it dragged, like, oh, a lot of the time it's easy to feel like, oh, I just want to get through the setup, I want to know what's going on, and then get to the actual interesting stuff, right? But like the setup was also interesting. So it started in the 60s with a talk show, very ominous, prophetic talk show going on, talking about the possibility of an apocalypse one day. And then in 2003, we have Joel and his daughter Sarah, and the apocalypse is just beginning. Total full-on zombie apocalypse. And we have this really long segment, I think it was like the first 30 minutes almost of the episode, were us seeing the beginnings of the apocalypse come to their town. I believe they were in Texas. They were attacked by the old lady neighbor who turned into a zombie, and they tried to get out of town, and on the way out, Sarah was killed, not by a zombie, but by an officer who is supposed to be helping them, but... And then we got a flash forward through another 20 years where, like, it's full on, this is our life now. The apocalypse is everybody's life. It's reality. And there are quarantine zones where zombies are kind of fended off. Fedra is what they call them. Fedra is the established government that makes the rules and keeps these zones safe. Although they also do public hangings for breaking the rules. And then we have the Fireflies, who are anti-Fedra, and they are trying to bring back a sense of democracy because Fedra is running things very much like it is a dictatorship almost. Joel is now in Boston. He has his partner Tess, who I think there's a romantic relationship with them because they're like cuddling in bed, but that's the only thing really that would make me think that they're romantic, so I'm not 100% sure. They smuggle things in and out of the quarantine zone in Boston, and I think that's like his job. I don't know. He was also doing like odd jobs for the government too. I think he was like in line to like clean up the sewers or something. And his brother Tommy has not been in contact with him for a couple weeks now, which is weird. They apparently always keep in really good contact with each other. Tommy's in a different quarantine zone. So Joel's plan is to like get this car battery. Things like car batteries are really hard to come by. They're all smuggled. I think you're not allowed to even travel in that way in this new era of life. So he has to kind of work undercover to try to get this car battery. He tries to get it from a guy named Robert, maybe was his name. And they were supposed to meet up with Robert to get the car battery, but Robert was selling it off, the car battery, which I don't think was even like a good one. I think it was a faulty one. He was selling it off to the Fireflies. Who's the head of the Fireflies? Marlene. Marlene also has Ellie in her clutches. Clutches makes it sound sinister. I don't think it's a sinister thing. But it appears that Ellie is immune to the infected, which is a big deal. I feel like that could help us, like their society, figure out how to create immunization. If there is a human who is for some reason immune, we can like figure out what's going on there, I think. But I'm also worried because I don't want Ellie to be turned into like this lab rat for the government to poke and prod either. So I don't know. She's trying to get her to safety. Marlene is trying to get Ellie to safety, which is apparently at the old state house. She has people at the old state house who are willing to take Ellie, and I don't know. I don't know exactly what their plan is with her. But she's no longer able to get Ellie to the old state house because she's been shot. And so she asks Joel and Tess to take Ellie to the old state house for her. That night, they're going to sneak out of the zone to try to bring Ellie to the old state house. In return, they're going to get all these supplies to be able to go on a cross-country trip, and they run into a soldier. And Fedra people have like this device that they can use on people to see if they're infected or not. Ellie was freaking out right away when they ran into the soldier because she knew what was going to pop up on that little device, and she was right. It popped up that she was infected, and the soldier starts freaking out. She starts freaking out, saying, no, I'm immune. And I think the soldier started to almost threaten Ellie. He had his gun up, possibly. I think he had his gun up. Yeah. Joel went for this soldier and beat him to death. And someone in the comments did point out, he was like looking at his hands afterwards. They were bloodied from beating up this man. He kind of seemed to have blacked out when he beat this man. And we obviously saw that in the moment he was having flashbacks to what happened with the soldier and his daughter 20 years ago. So he has a lot of trauma. That was a really long intro and recap, but it was a really long episode. It was like an hour-and-a-half episode. A lot went down. And now the next episode is called Infected, which is, I believe, a capital I. The infected are what they call the zombies. It's very possible that we are going to be seeing a lot of zombie action in this one, or even we're going to get more like logistical information on how these infected work. Also, I do have a Patreon where I do bonus content, so if you are interested in supporting me and this channel, monetization is impossible on this channel, which, by the way, I did have an Elvis movie reaction up. It's gotten taken down like 3 times. It just keeps getting blocked. So I guess I can't post that video. And most videos I can't monetize. And if they are monetized, usually the money is going to, in this case, it would be HBO. But anyways, if you would like bonus content and to support me and my channel, my Patreon link is below and it's listed there, all the bonus content that you would get before signing up or anything. So if you're not interested in that, let's get into the episode 2 reaction here on YouTube. Oh, I don't even need a previously on. I just did my own previously on talking at you guys for 10 minutes. Jakarta, Indonesia, 2003. This is where it all started.
Bu Ratna, Professor Mycology.
Oh, they need her help. They see the workings or the beginnings of this infection and they're hoping she can help them out. What? Oh my god. That's scary and gross, but mostly scary.
Seorang perempuan yang tiba-tiba melakukan kekerasan menyerang 4 orang rekan kerja dan gigit 3 orang diantaranya. Mereka kemudian mengunci perempuan itu di kamar mandi sampai kemudian polisi datang. Perempuan itu mencoba menyerang dan terpaksa harus ditembak.
What about the people she bit?
Lalu bagaimana dengan orang yang digigitnya?
Dibawa untuk diobservasi. Sayangnya beberapa jam kemudian telah menjadi keharusan sesuai dengan prosedur.
Siapa yang menggigit perempuan itu, Pak?
Right. I think it's so interesting that they're getting into the origins of it, because I never thought about that in a zombie apocalypse. Like, who was the first? How did the first come to be? And if they're going to like tackle that head on and give us an answer in this show, I'd be really happy.
Kami butuh vaksin. Butuh obat.
They said in the 60s interview there is none.
Papa.
There's no cure.
Tidak ada obat. Dan tidak ada vaksin.
Jadi apa yang harus kami lakukan?
Bom.
Blow everything up?
Bom seluruh kota. Dan seluruh orang yang ada di dalamnya.
So either they did that and it still didn't help, or they didn't do it because it's kind of a wild thing to pull the trigger on. I feel like that would spark a really intense debate, though, if we talked about that. I don't feel like I'm not going to have time to talk about it with just the intro. I'll probably talk about it at the end of the video, but it kind of is that idea of, first of all, by bombing the whole... I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it because it's too long right now. I'll talk about it at the end of the video, but that is a really interesting talking point in my opinion. That's crazy how there's like nature is festering inside all of these abandoned buildings. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I feel like we have to get through this little mini interrogation. It's gotta happen because she's a walking miracle and that just doesn't make sense.
She locked me up and had her guys test me every day to see if I was getting sick.
Test you how?
They'd make me count to 10 and hold out my hand and then keep it steady. But you know, I think what really impressed them was the fact that I didn't turn into a fucking monster.
We're still close to the wall. We sneak her back into the QZ. We find a different way to get the battery.
This is our best shot. And they'll kill her.
Well, better them than us. Need to stop talking about this kid like she's got some kind of life in front of her.
She does.
We're doing this for us. Because apparently you're worth something. But we don't know what you're worth.
She told me not to tell anybody, and I'm telling the first people that
Is she really gonna tell them? It's whatever Marlene told her in this last episode that we didn't get to hear.
there's a Firefly base camp somewhere out west. they're working on a cure.
I've heard this before.
And whatever happened to me is
It's the key to finding the vaccine. That's what this is.
It doesn't matter if she is or she isn't what the Fireflies say. If they believe that she is, we get what we want.
If she so much as twitches.
Don't.
Can I have a gun?
Absolutely not.
Okay, Jesus, fine. I'll just throw a fucking sandwich at them.
Honestly, though, yeah, maybe we should have like backup for her if we get into a situation. Oh, those towers.
Looks different in the daylight, huh?
That is so crazy. Oh my god, what if the towers come crashing down like completely? At some point, that's gonna be a mess.
Is this where they bombed?
Yeah. They hit most of the big cities like this. They had to slow the spread somehow.
Whoa, so they actually did go through with that? Just bombing the whole world? Think about all the people, the non-zombies that died from that.
Where the fuck are they already?
You'll know it when they're close.
I've seen how fast they run. I would not be hoping to spot a zombie if I were you. She's little too, she's short. I can't imagine she can outrun them.
So there aren't super infected that explode fungus spores on you?
Shit, I hope not.
Or ones with split open heads that stay in the dark like bats?
I also wonder if the infected like live with a pack mentality or if they're like all rogue. Like, are we gonna walk into a den of infected at some point? Or is it always gonna be hopefully more one-on-one combat because they're all doing their own thing?
Wait, are we going in there?
Yeah, we gotta get to the stairwell on the other side.
Oh my god, if a zombie pops out of the water.
I-
Why do I feel like there's gonna be a jump scare with something popping out of the water? Okay, maybe don't play the piano. Oh good, I thought she was headed for the piano. I'm like, maybe we shouldn't make maybe we shouldn't make noise.
You're a weird kid.
You're a weird kid.
Okay, at least it's not alive. But also seeing Ellie play around like that just reminds you that she's just a kid, and it just makes me scared for her. Like, if something happens to her, I'm gonna be heartbroken. Okay, cool. We made it out of the water at least.
The fuck did that happen?
Oof. Okay.
Where'd you learn to do that?
The circus. How long do infected live?
Oh, I thought you went to school.
It's really shitty.
Well, some last about a month or two. But there's others been walking around about 20 years.
Yikes.
Was it hard? Like knowing they were people once?
Probably sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
What now?
Oh. Whoa. They look like maggots. Like that's how they're moving. Is it a hive mind
The
thing?
fungus also grows underground. You step on a patch of cordyceps in one place, and you can wake a dozen infected from somewhere else. You're not immune from being ripped apart.
That's true. Just because you can survive a bite doesn't mean you can survive an attack. And now I feel like that's for sure foreshadowing. Like they're going to step on something on accident and a whole group of infected are going to come for them. All right. Plan, what is this? Plan C at this point? Don't touch it. Why are we touching it?
It's bone dry. Could mean they're all finally dead in there.
Okay.
Oh man.
Marlene packing one of these or just sandwiches?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't like that we have to use flashlights. Something's gonna pop up.
Oh shit.
That's new. That is a new body.
I've been attacked by one and it wasn't like that.
What? Why? Are there different types of infected? Why do they have to be so creaky? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. What was that? What is that? That's the sound the infected make. I didn't think they made sounds. Ew, I don't like those sounds. Oh my god. I bet their hearing is so good though then. Ew, I cannot stand the sounds. Ah! First of all, I thought there was definitely only one. Second of all, they don't just drop from a shot. How many times do you have to shoot them? That is so close. Oh my god. Where's Tess? Where's Tess? Oh, he got it. He's got it. Okay. I swear that... Oh my god, I forgot about the other one already. Okay, so clearly you have to go for the head multiple times, at least 2 or 3 times.
You alright?
Well, I didn't shit my pants. You fucking kidding me? I mean, if it was gonna happen to one of us.
My computer just restarted. My computer does this thing now where it likes to just randomly restart. So my screen recording is no longer with us, which means I'm going to have to add in a download of the show to line up with me watching instead of being able to put in the screen record of that I'm actually watching. It's not the end of the world, but it means that the download might not have subtitles, but just know that I am watching with subtitles.
Over there?
Yeah, I know, it looks scary.
That was scary. This is wood.
No, she's a little too fearless.
Wait there. Give us a minute.
Listen to Joel. I'm afraid, no, I'm afraid one of these times he's gonna tell her to do something, she's not gonna listen, and it's gonna get her into trouble. Or she's gonna be like not afraid enough of something and it's gonna get her in trouble.
Come on, let's get there before it's dark.
So they're planning on getting to the old state house by the end of the night and handing her over. I'm trying to figure out, because I have to imagine that Ellie's gonna be with them through this whole series. I'm just wondering what is gonna cause her to stay with them. Like, is it gonna take that long to get to the old state house? I don't think so. Or is no one gonna be there? What if they like all got killed? Where the fuck are they? They're not there.
Joe? What the fuck is going on?
Is that fresh blood?
They went inside.
Come on!
They could have been killed. You could be walking into a den of infected right now.
One of them got bit. The healthy ones fought the sick ones. Everyone lost.
One of them's gotta have a map on them, right? Joe, can you help me?
No! We are going home!
This is not my fucking home! I'm staying.
No, she's not.
Fuck. She's infected.
What? What? No, she's not. What? But maybe she's immune too?
Oops.
Right? Maybe. Oh my god.
Look,
It didn't spread.
Joe. This is real. I need you to get her to Bill and Frank's.
Oh.
They'll take her off your hands. They'll handle it from here. Please say yes, Joe. Please.
Oh, fuck!
Are they gonna shoot Tess? Do they have to? Oh my god. Oh my god. They're all going to the house, to the old state house. They're all going. All of those, what do they call them? All of the infected that they saw before are coming for them right now. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a group.
How many?
Maybe a minute.
What are you doing?
Making sure that they don't follow you. Joe. you can say.
We're not leaving her! Get off me, you fucker! Not going with you!
Come on. Oh my god. Did she recognize him? That's the end of Tess? Oh man, what a depressing way to end an episode. I'm like sitting here trying to rationalize all the ways that maybe Tess didn't just die. But the more I think about it, the more I think that was really the end of Tess. Because obviously she got bit and it was spreading. Like we saw the bite that Ellie got, and it was just like, it was just like a bite. And the bite that Tess got was already spreading all across her neck and collarbone. So even if, because I'm very much, especially with HBO, but with shows in general, I'm very much, if you don't see the dead body, it's possible that they could be coming back in some way. It's possible that they could still be alive. But even if she's somehow survived, oh my god. I was gonna say, even if she somehow survived the fire, which is very slim, but I guess maybe possible. But I feel like she is still gonna turn into an infected, and I would not want that for her. If I see her pop up again later in the series as an infected, I might cry. But I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think she died in the fire with the rest of the infected. I guess it was like a really, if you're gonna go out, it's a great way to go out, like bringing all of those infected down with her. That was a big group of them, so I guess there's that. But I really thought that Tess was gonna like be a major character through the whole series. I did not anticipate seeing this happen, so I'm a little thrown off right now. I'm thrown off for multiple reasons. The other reason I'm thrown off right now is because of that kiss that happened at the end. What was that? I thought maybe for a second the way that she was looking at this person, and even the way that this particular infected person was looking at her, I thought maybe they recognized each other. He did what looked like a kiss. It looked like a kiss, but like also those things, the little maggot feeders. I don't know if they have names, but the infected maggots that live inside of the infected, like, came out of his mouth and went into hers. What is that? What, like, was what? I don't know what to make of the kiss that happened between Tess and the infected. If the infected did recognize her, that's crazy, because that means you can get through to the person they used to be in some ways, sometimes, somehow. I don't know. What was that? I don't know what the infected kiss was. I don't know what purpose it had. I don't know. But I hope that we learn more about what the heck that was. We started off the episode with a flashback to 2003 Jakarta, which is the original city where the infection started to spread, according to the news that we heard in the 2003 flashback in the first episode. And the lady that they tried to bring in to help them figure out a cure for this sprouting infection told them, hey, there isn't a cure. I recommend that you bomb the city. Aggressive. That's aggressive. Like, when you take an ethics class, this is one of the major theories that's talked about in them. I don't know if it has a specific name, but like the idea of doing something bad to one person to prevent something bad happening later to 5 people, right? Doing something bad to an entire city of innocent people in order to prevent something bad taking over the entire world. Like, where do your ethics lie and your moral grounds lie in that debate? Because I don't know. Like, I can't imagine making that decision, but I also don't know what I would choose in that decision. Like, maybe if you don't bomb this city right now in 2003, in 2023, the whole world's going to be overrun, and it's going to be over, and it's going to be apocalypse. If you knew that for certain, that bombing that city at the time could prevent that from happening, then maybe it would be an easier choice to be like, okay, let's do it. And it sucks because you're going to be killing lots of innocent people still. And it's going to be at your hands, not at the infected hands. I mean, in a roundabout way, it is at the infected hands, but you know what I mean. But then if you're like, I don't know, what if we bomb the city and it still spreads and then we killed all these innocent people for no reason? I feel like that's the thing you have to worry about too. Like, that's a really, really tough decision to put into just like a mortal's hands. Like, I can't, like, being the one to choose if someone lives or dies, if an innocent person lives or dies, it just sucks. Like, I can't imagine making that decision. But also, based on the present events of the situation, we did hear from Tess that there in Boston there were bombings, and she said there's been bombings all over the world. It clearly doesn't seem to have, maybe it's helped, it's made a chink in the armor, is that the phrase? It's like helped a little bit. It's gotten rid of some infected, but it's not solved the problem whatsoever, doing all these bombings all over the world. So you have to think about how many innocent people were lost to the bombings, how many innocent people have been lost to Fedra. Sarah, we know. I'm not sure if there's any right answer on how to make things better. The Fireflies clearly have their initiative. I feel like they have like some sort of plan, but we haven't really seen what the Fireflies' plan is, because clearly it seems, based on the state of the world, that what Fedra is doing isn't the greatest. Like, maybe they do a lot of helpful things, like they have these quarantine zones where they're trying to keep people safe and keep people from being infected and all of that, but the world is still not doing great, and the Fireflies clearly think that they can do better than Fedra can, and I'm curious to hear what exactly their game plan is. Clearly, Marlene thinks that the key to the cure is Ellie and taking her out west to the doctors out there. Oh man, if everything, all of their plans, the heart of their plans of turning everything around and making the world a better place again, if that all lies on Ellie, that's a lot for Ellie, and it's a lot of pressure on them to have that faith in Ellie to get her to these doctors. Like, and what if Ellie, I don't know. I wonder what their backup plans are. Like, I hope Ellie isn't their one and only plan here, because that's a lot to put on a 14-year-old kid. And I haven't seen like what else they're doing to try to fight for their cause. I don't know. I'm on the fence about Fireflies. I need to learn more about what they're up to. We also learned that the infected do have a hive mind mentality. I'm not sure. Obviously, like Joel stepping on those little infected maggots. I don't know what to call them. Please let me know if there's like a specific name for them. But the little infected maggots that drew the attention of all of the infected in that like city square in Boston there. Obviously, all of them got called to that zone. But him stepping on it didn't call like all the infected of the world to that zone. So I wonder how exactly, like logistically, specifically, that works. I'm very curious about how the hive mind works in a world sense when it comes to the infected and how that is organized. It's scary because I was like, oh, well, they're zombies, they're brainless, like maybe they don't have a pack mentality. That's what my hope was, because that's going to be easier if they're not in groups like that. But now that I know that they have a hive mind of sorts, that makes it scarier, because you're not gonna only come across rogue ones, you're gonna come across giant hive mind groups of them, and that's really, really, really scary. Tess's last dying wish is for Joel to get Ellie to Bill and Frank now, which we heard them come up before. I don't really know too much about them yet, why she thinks that they're gonna be able to help, but clearly she has a reason to believe that, so I'm gonna have some faith in Bill and Frank, and I think that, given that was her kind of dying wish, even though maybe it's not exactly what Joel wants to do, he probably still is veering toward killing Ellie. But it's kind of nice that she got bit a little in that attack in the museum, because it showed with their own eyes, look, it doesn't fester, it doesn't grow. So it kind of like reaffirmed for Joel that, yeah, this is legit. She seriously doesn't get infected when she's bit. So hopefully he buys more into the fact that she can really be a major vessel in figuring out a cure. And now from here, I think the next episode is going to be them making it to Bill and Frank's. I forget exactly where Bill and Frank are. I don't know exactly who they are or what they're going to be able to do to help, but it's a step forward either way, and we'll figure out more about what they're about, hopefully in the next episode. So this one was a nail biter. This one, I feel like the whole museum sequence of this episode went by so fast for me. It was so suspenseful, and I'm really excited to see the episode 3. And I'm really hoping I don't see Tess as an infected later on. I really hope. I don't know. Maybe there's a miracle and somehow she's not infected or dead. Probably not. Okay, I will see you guys in the next episode.